It's got big spiky teeth, and it can't see, but it can smell and sense her. And I'm like, it's like the basilisk thing. It's like, you may have taken the basilisk's eyes out, but it can still hear you.
And it's all in this muddy maze, so she has to walk around or run around a maze of mud. And she says the mud smells atrocious, and she wants to gag. Where do they keep this worm? Like, do they just pull it out for special occasions? Like,
it's like the Sarlacc. It's like not even the Sarlacc pit. It's like the Rancorn. You know, in Star Wars: Return of the Jedi, they have like a Rancorn underneath in Jabba the Hutt's palace.
No. I don't.
Come on, man. Watch Star Wars.
I don't know what that is.
It's the same concept.
I took the premise of the Harry Potter, you know, when he does the Triwizard. No, the Triwizard Cup. And they're in the maze at the very end, except it's not green hedges, it's just mud. And the people that are like hypnotized with the wand is the worm, but in a bit more. So it's a maze like that.
It's not. It's not that,
right,
man.
okay.
They're not hypnotized, man. No.
Okay.
What we can formally say is that the worm is trying to kill her, and I like it because there's a point where she's like, Amarantha wants me to hunt, so I'm gonna hunt.
Yeah, she makes a trap for it. And then the Home Alone music comes in and goes, do 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 do. She's like making a little trap with spikes for bones, and then you know,
how does she have the time?
Yeah, because this worm is just going around in circles, and people must be watching the show going, "What is going on? This is so boring. Can someone just like throw in a bone and make it go that way?"
Literary Labyrinth, Labyrinth, Literary Labyrinth, Labyrinth, Literary Labyrinth, Labyrinth, Literary Labyrinth, Labyrinth.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Literary Labyrinth with me, Leela.
Me, Linda, who is a slow reader.
Yes. Welcome on in. If you have not been listening to our podcast, please feel free to listen to our previous episodes. Yay. This is now episode 4, so if you have been tuning into each episode, thank you so much for coming back and listening to our final installment of reading A Court of Thorn and Roses.
Yep, so we are reading chapters 35 right down to the end. So this is the ending, what is happening in the final section of the story. And I have to say, I think this is where we get down to it. This is where it got good, okay? I'm not spoiling it yet.
This is where it got insane. Basically, they arrived under the mountain, and that's when
it hit the fan.
Holy crap. From chapter... it shit hit the fan. We are going to start getting into it. Why the hell not? Let's do this. Chapter 35. So, Linda, thoughts?
Like, it did look, it's been a bit of like, oh, go, stop. And now it's just like, boom, this is the story. And you're like, oh, right. Okay. Why wasn't this earlier? What? Like, can you give me some chance here? But now it's like, boom, let's go.
I think we end our last episode on chapter 34, where she's basically beaten to a pulp by an Acotar and three Fays, essentially, with the Acotar.
Yeah.
And then thrown in a cell with the thing of going, yes, Amarantha, I will do these trials, and if I pass them all, I will be able to release Tamlin and the curse, essentially. Which, if Amarantha, she's like, because I don't think you're going to do it. And also, she's just...
Can we just have a chat about this? So, as we left it on the last section, the last episode, she's like, I'm going to give it all because I love this guy and I'm going to give my life for him, do these trials. And I'm like,
yeah.
Wait, you've known him less? Okay, is it just me because I'm just older and I'm not a teenage girl? But you've known him less than a year. Like, okay, you might have fallen hard for him, but but death?
I think
you willing to die?
The reasons are, she is living in a sort of Delulu phase as well, but I would give it the fact that she's 19. She didn't have a mum. Also, respect to the Aya Brew 1901 that you just drank right on camera. Can I just say, I actually love Aya Brew 1901. Sorry, guys. Anyway, yeah, and then she's actually not had to look after anybody. Tamlin has supported her. So I think that's where her mind, in her rational sense, it's like she believes this man is the love of my life. I want to save him. He tried to save me. I wish I told him I loved him. And, I want to fight for this romance where, like, unlike my father, never fought for my mother, and she died. So I'm not saying it makes, like, it's rational, but in her mind, as a 19-year-old right now,
I am surprised that Nesta didn't stand up to her, like, in the last chapters and said, girl, you're living in a fantasy world. Yes, he could be the love of your life, but not for you to die. You have a family here. Would you just give her a slap? And that was it. End of story.
There's two things. Did she really tell Nesta the extent of it? Or is Nesta just like,
all in all,
I don't
maybe
care.
I'm just really old, but look, I get she might love this guy, but, like, I'm not dying for someone, especially when they're like, oh, let's do 3 trials. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Why would I do that? But, like, okay.
But I think when you're 19 and you're stupid, right? You're like good intentions, but you're stupid.
She's got a
lot of growth to go. She ain't figured that out yet.
Yeah. So she just got battered by the Acotar, and I'm surprised she's not dead, because she came away in a prison cell with a broken nose, and she's like, oh, I'm a bit bruised, I've got a broken nose. And I was like, no, with that battering, you've probably got internal bleeding and a broken rib. But no, she's fine.
Yeah, so she's got, like, swelling, and things like that. So it's lucky that Lucien finds her in the prison cell and is like,
Thank you. Thank you. The first normal voice to say that.
The rationale. I mean, to be fair, Lucien has been pretty, like,
you are an idiot.
He's just like, but he's very kind. He fixes her nose with Fey magic and reduces the swelling so she doesn't feel too much pain. So thank God for Lucien, because if she hadn't,
I think she might have died before
and her nose would still be broken.
I don't think Amarantha thought this through. She's like, yay, a show, and then she's like, she's dead. Like, that would be terrible.
I think Amarantha is just one of those people that just really doesn't care. She just doesn't care.
She does ask us about that ring, because we saw the ring, and Jurian's eye is in the ring, and we find out a bit more in the background, because she's just like, what the hell is this ring? And she was like, oh yeah, they both wrecked a battlefield. And then we find out that the King of Hybern was going to go to war, but she refused to march with him to his aid because she cost him the whole war and the armies because of this fight with Jurian and to steal his eye and everything. So the King of Hybern is pissed with her for, like, losing the war and then going off and starting, I'm going to take Prithian.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of understand her reason, right? Because the only reason Amarantha cost that was because her sister had been brutally murdered by somebody she believed to be the love of her sister's life, Jurian. And Jurian was a human, not Fey, and then he killed her. And so she basically killed him and put his eyeball into her ring.
He's still
alive. But he's still, like, conscious, so his eye sees everything. His eye, so she's, like, taunting Jurian even through death. So a significant point is that the High Lords have to stay under the mountain, all of them, until the 3 trials are done.
Yeah, so imagine, like, she's really built this up, so, like, battering her and putting her in her cell. If Lucien hadn't come along, she'd be like, okay, guys, first round. Oh, she's dead. Shit. Right, everyone could go home then.
But also, you'd kind of think that Lucien would try to do something, but he's just sat there.
Yeah.
He's just sat there.
So,
not doing anything.
Lucien, he tells her she's an idiot, tells her a bit more about what happened, why Amarantha is the way she is, and that she's in for a rough ride, really. And that Tamlin because she's like, why doesn't Tamlin say anything?
Yeah.
And he's saying he doesn't want to give anything away to show that he loves you or that you mean something to him. So he's not going to show any affection. Not that he doesn't want to. And that's kind of...
But then at the same time, you're kind of like, Tamlin, you're not really doing anything to save her. Yeah, so Feyre hasn't told Amarantha her name in chapter 35, at least. It's nothing. She's resisted. She said no. But also Acotar drags Lucian to Amarantha and torturing him to tell, And then Feyre blurts out her name to protect Lucian, even though Lucian's like, bitch, I'm trying to protect you here, but I suppose also Feyre's trying to do the same thing.
She says, yeah, you've got 3 trials, but you can all pass this and the curse will be immediately lifted if you can solve my riddle. Out of the 3 trials, she's just said, you have to get the 3 trials to win everybody's freedom and to let you go and you'll be free. However, I'll break the curse and everything immediately if you can solve the riddle.
Now,
yes.
Amarantha knows her name is Feyre because she's told her now because she didn't want Lucian to get hurt.
For a
and
couple
then
of
they throw
days.
her back in the cell again to be like, a couple of days, like,
she's
feel
just
like
eating
shit.
crappy bread and is in filth, and
But
she's just in dire situation, so not in the best state.
No, it's not going so great for Feyre, poor girl. She should have stayed away, but hey, what are you gonna do? So then she gets pulled out again into a rowdy
The
crowd.
first trial.
Like,
yeah,
let's do this, right? And that's it. It's time to do this. And Tamlin is next to Amarantha, and they're seated together, and the 6 other High Lords and Prithian. I got it. I get there in the end. Prithian. And then the Ator's like, I'm gonna pick you up, and drops her into like this maze. It's like a muddy maze. He's just like plonk. So that's trial number 1 has begun.
Yeah. So she's like, I've done my background check on you, and I know you're a huntress. Hunt this.
Basically, it's like the worm from June, right?
Yeah.
It's got big spiky teeth, and it can't see, but it can smell and sense her. And I'm like, it's like the basilisk thing. It's like, you may have taken the basilisk's eyes out, but it can still hear you.
It's all in this muddy maze, so she has to walk around or run around a maze of mud. And she says the mud smells atrocious, and she wants to gag. And it
smells like foul, like I think there's like dead things in there as well.
Where do they keep this worm? Like, do they just pull it out for special occasions? Like,
it's like the rancorn, in Star Wars Return of the Jedi, they have like a rancorn underneath in Jabba the Hutt's palace.
No, I don't.
Come on, man. Watch Star Wars.
I don't know what that is.
Rancorn's like a big beast, right? And they stuck it down there, and they give people, and people look down exactly as in this moment, and they go, entertainment, and then they see if the person lives, and obviously somebody like Luke Skywalker, he's a Jedi, he survives it. So in this case, she's not a Jedi, but she's a very skilled hunter. So
okay,
it's the same concept.
I took the premise of the Harry Potter, when he does the Triwizard. No, the Triwizard Cup, and they're in the maze at the very end, except it's not green hedges, it's just mud, and the people that are like hypnotized with the wand is the worm, but in a bit more. So it's a maze that.
It's not that,
right,
man.
okay.
They're not hypnotized, man. No. Okay, what we could formally say is that the worm is trying to kill her, and I like it because there's a point where she's like, Amarantha wants me to hunt, so I'm gonna hunt. You're like, okay, girl. But she's quite smart.
Yeah, she makes a trap for it. It's one of those things so I expected when I was reading it, she'd accidentally gone through one of the walls and ended up on the other side of the worm. So the worm was lost, just going around in a circle. And then, so she got herself covered in mud. And then she was like, right,
That's
I'm gonna
classic
do it.
Predator moment.
Yeah.
That's like, you know, when Arnie puts mud on him in the Predator movie, if you haven't seen it, it's awesome, to hide his scent, which is exactly what Feyre does for the worm.
Yeah, and then she falls in and she finds this thing and it's just bones everywhere. And then it clicks and she's like, I'm going to make myself a trap. And then the Home Alone music comes in and goes, do. She's like making a little trap with spikes with bones. And then,
I know.
a makeshift
How's she have the time?
Yeah, because this worm is just going around in circles and people must be watching the show going, what is going on? This is so boring. Can someone just like throw in a bone and make it go that way? So, yeah, and so she's making this trap and then she goes after it and is like, yoo-hoo, I'm here.
And then I think Lucien's like, on your left, because she can't see it. She's like, where's it gone? Because she's cut her hand essentially to get the beast to come in her direction.
Oh, yeah.
So that it will then come into her trap that she's built.
But Lucien is like, to your left, because she didn't see it in time. So he's sort of like helped her out, which is a no. And then, so she gets away quickly and then she's like running down this like muddy maze. And then she jumps over the trap and gets away from it. And then the worm just goes straight into the bony trap, all the spikes and everything. Yeah, I'm guessing like just a muddy mess. She's been hurt in the kind of aftermath. She's broken her
arm.
Or the bone's gone through her arm or something.
Oh,
yeah.
That's right.
But she's okay because she's like, the worm is dead and that's good.
And they're like, woo! Yeah, Feyre. And then there's the thing where she's like...
Well, yeah, but no, because we've all bet against you.
That's right. Everyone's lost money. And then they say, except one person did not bet. Because everyone was like, oh, Feyre's going to die, except one person. And we find out who that person is when she's back in her cell with a broken arm going, shit, this is going to get infected and I'm going to die from infection.
Well, after the whole worm thing, she throws a bone at Amarantha and she's like, yeah, I got you. I got like against the, I won this. Suck on this.
You know
she's
what?
just like,
to be fair, that's exactly what I would do. I'd be like, bitch, suck it. I just won against, how old are you? And I'm 19-year-old human. Come at me,
That must hurt.
Come at me.
Yeah, that would hurt.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're in the cell and Amarantha is pissed, obviously. And she's now, oh, my poor arm is badly broken and I think it's going to get infected.
Yeah.
But
let's hope I don't die.
Yeah. And then who comes to visit her?
Oh, Rhysand?
That's it, Rhysand. Rhysand, the dark lord, as they like to call him, the high lord of the Night Court.
Who was the only one who said she'd win. And he's like, right, you're dying. Your arm's infected. I can help you if you stay, 2 weeks every month at the Night Court.
I was just like, why?
Exactly. Thinking about it.
But then I think at this point, it made sense to me because he hates Tamlin.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, can you imagine? I forced her to spend 2 weeks with me. And Tamlin's like, you mother beep.
But she did good. She went no, because she didn't know if he was going to spend 2 weeks torturing her every month for the rest of her life. So she'd have a lovely time in the spring court and then be tortured for 2 weeks in this night court. Yeah, absolutely. And she was like, no. And then she realizes that she's in such a dire situation.
You're going to die. Yeah.
She negotiates and they end up on 1 week. So I'm like, okay.
I think she's like, fine, 5 days. And he's like, a week. And then she's like, ugh, fine, I'm dying here with this arm. So then he does it, but he creates this kind of like tattoo.
Yes, didn't tell her.
Yeah. And she's like, what the fudge? And it's like got an eye in her hand.
In her palm. Yeah, her palm. And it blinks, so it's alive. I don't know, something it can see her. And she's like, what have you done?
It's his sight goes into that, so he can see what she's doing and where she is, which is like Oh, what a douche, man. He's such a creep.
Creep? Yeah. A creepy
All these high
thing to
fae are
do.
creepy. They're all creepy, man. They agreed on 1 week.
And
then she gets rid of the pain, the fever. Her arm's okay now.
she's
It's
great.
fine. She's great. She's doing good, but she's got swirly tattoos with a feature of an eye in the middle of her palm, and she's like, "Are you an absolute ass? You tricked me. I said that. Why is this the thing on my arm now?" And then he's like, "I like the idea of telling Tamlin about it." Poof,
Yeah,
and then
you
he just
didn't ask.
vanishes.
Yeah.
So
He said,
obviously more
save
teasing.
me, but rather than to hurt Tamlin. So she feels awful now. Is that the next time Tamlin sees her, he'll think, oh, right, you've been with Rhysand or you've done something with him that it'll hurt him more. So she's really upset now about it, even though she shouldn't be. She didn't negotiate to save her life.
Well, I don't see Tamlin coming to her cell saying, "Can I help your arm?"
That's another thing. That's another thing. I know he's not supposed to. Okay, let's just get into this. I know he's not supposed to come in. He's supposed to be there and not show emotion. But come on. She's about to die.
He sneak out. Or he couldn't go up to, like, another person and be like, "Can you, like, do this?"
Or why can't he just say, "Yeah, I do care for her. I want her to win." Because Amarantha's going to be exactly the same.
I think it's because Amarantha would kill her immediately.
She's made a deal now.
But can she not back out of that?
Maybe she can. Yeah, maybe she might.
I don't know. Do you know what? I actually don't know if she can back out of it. But yeah, so at the end of chapter 37, basically Rhysand's like, "You feel better, you got my tat on your arm, bye." And she's left with that. And chapter 38 starts with when she's like, "I tried to not look at my left arm as I scrubbed the floors of the hallway." Because she's also asked to do servant work.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. She's had to do what, because she's only allowed to do the trials every full moon or something. So she's got like all these days in between, and they're saying clean the lobby of whatever.
Or clean the fireplace is another one that she had to do. Yeah,
but she has to clean the lobby with dirty water, and if you don't clean it, then you're gonna die or get like.
Or you get tortured or something.
Tortured.
Yeah.
So the first person that saves her is Lucian's mum comes to her rescue and says, "Oh, you saved my son by saying your name. Here, have some clean water." And so she manages to do that task.
Yes, that's right.
To clean.
Yes.
He cleans the lobby and gets away with it.
Which we know is the Lady of the Autumn Court, which is Lucian's, where he used to be until all that stuff that we talked about before happened with his horrible brothers. And then she manages to accomplish that. But
the second task is they throw her into a room and say, "Oh, somebody spilled lentils in the fireplace. Can you split the lentils up here and put the ash in there?" And she's like, "What?" And it's going to take forever. And she's panicking because the person's coming back. And it turns out it's Rhysand's room. And he's like, "What are you doing in my fireplace?"
That's it. Yes, because Rhysand is Amarantha's whore.
Oh, yes.
Let's not forget that. So, yeah, they come in, and then she's digging in his fireplace. And, he tells her only scraps of his power remain, because I think she's thinking he's exempt, like the other high faes have completely,
he could heal her.
Okay. And then he also tells her that all the High Lords can shapeshift. And he shows her boom, bat-like wings, and she's like, "Oh my God."
And talons and things, and he's like, "This is what I am. I'm a monster." But then she's like, asks, "Why did you lie to Amarantha and say that about Claire?" And he doesn't answer the question. Because he knew what she looked like. And he said to Amarantha, "Yeah, that's her." And it wasn't. And she just lied. He says it just gets boring down here day to day. So he doesn't really answer the question. And you're like, yeah, so you were bored.
You start to realize, I don't think he's as bad of a guy as he's saying he is. Like, he's giving this idea that he's evil, but actually I think that's a load of horse shit, especially at this point. You kind of go, come on. But anyway, he uses his magic to separate the lentils and the ashes for
Oh,
her,
yeah.
which is kind of sweet. And then he orders the guards, don't touch Feyre or give her any more chores. And then he just smiles and leaves. And that's the end of that.
Yeah. He just goes, yeah, you're no more household chores. You're welcome. And so it is
Bye,
a bit
bitch!
it's a bit weird. You're kind of, maybe he is a nice guy. I'm actually warming to him now.
But it's just he's
he is a monster. But a nice monster in the circumstances. Like, yeah, it's
like
awful.
he's like he could have made her life a really shit hell, but he's actually helping her. He's the one that didn't bet against her that she would die in the first trial. He saved her arm, but
he made a lot of money out of her, so he's got great.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like he made a lot of money out of her. He then he then helped repair her bad arm and infection, but in gaining a week of her time and kind of
a
giving
creepy
her
stalking.
a creepy eyeball and a tat that Tamlin's gonna see. And now this is probably the only thing he's done where he hasn't gained anything from it. Where he separate the lentils and the things where he's just like, look, I just helped you out. Bye, I'm gonna leave now.
So I thought he's starting to be a nice guy. Maybe he's looking out for her, but then no, he went back to his. That's the only thing. You think, oh, maybe he's being nice, and you're like, no, he's just being creepy. He's a creepy bum. What has gone wrong with this guy? Like, what's happened to him? So
that's when you get into chapter 39. Then you're like, no, he's just a creepy weirdo.
Yeah, he said, oh, you don't have to do the chores anymore, but now you have to come to the party with me. And she's, what party? And he paints her. He paints her all over the place and then makes her put on a really inappropriate gown. And so that he'll know if anybody touches her. Only he can touch her.
I know, very Anaxunamun the Mummy vibes on that one. Like the bride that can never be touched. Yes, you get that reference.
I get this reference.
Anaxunamun, the bride that cannot be touched because she's been painted on, so you can't touch her.
This can't be just to peeve off like Tamlin, because
it's
why are you so creepy?
Because she's even like, if you could call it a dress, it was little more than 2 long shafts of gossamer, just wide enough to cover my breasts, pinned at each shoulder with gold brooches.
That's nothing. Why are you being creepy?
And then it's like, and then there was a piece of fabric, a single piece that hung between my legs to the floor. It barely covered me from the cold air on my skin. I knew that most of my backside was left exposed.
Oh, God. And he does say it's because he wants to show that she belongs to him in this, in front of Amarantha and Tamlin. All just to piss him off. And then he does say it to him.
Now, I think part of it is he's pissing off Tamlin, but do you think Amarantha's told him to do that?
No, I don't think so. I think she is like infatuated with Tamlin and she just wants rid of this girl in a nice sport, but she doesn't mind, but he's just being really creepy about it. He could help her or he could just be ignorant of her, but he just wants to be creepy. So he goes off with her to this party and then he tells Amarantha and Tamlin, first off, yay, this is what I did. And now she has to spend a week with me when everything's finished at the night court for the rest of her life. Ha ha ha. So Tamlin knows that even if he does survive this or she survives it, he's still going to be there going, hi. And she does say, oh, Tamlin still gripped the throne. So he knows it's pissed him off. And she knows it's pissed him off.
And she's like trying to be like, and he's like, don't react. But then it's like, what's it? The white knuckle grip. Yeah. And then that's it. And then Rhysand offers Feyre some wine, which basically makes
and she remembers, don't drink the wine, but she does anyway.
But I think, doesn't he tell her she kind of like drink it, like do it? Like, you have to.
Says that she has to drink it.
Not forces her, but it's like you have to drink it because it just makes her kind of go, Like, it puts her in a drug state. She's just like, I don't know what's happening. It's like light roofying.
It's just awful. So yeah, when she drinks this fairy wine, it's not like the time before in like the summer solstice where she was all like lovely and she was dancing and it was magical.
Oh and this
is like
going on.
a drug. This is roofie. Yeah, you will not remember anything and you'll embarrass yourself. And she wakes up the next day in her cell with an awful hangover, completely sick, and can't remember a thing.
Yeah, she's basically been roofied for that entire dance. And she even says she's sick most of the next day in her cell. She's vomiting that shit up. So, yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, and then she's there in her cell with this clothes on still, the same clothes on.
I don't have the decency to change her, except then that might be a bit creepy as well, actually. No,
give her a jacket, something. I don't know what they have. A cloak.
A cardigan, like what I'm wearing, this orange cardigan.
Or something. But then she's in her cell, vomiting her shiz up. And Lucian's like, ta-da, I'm back now to help you. And she's a bit like, well, it was a bit too late. I would have succumbed to my broken arm and died. So that's why I had to take the bargain.
Lucian's like, but then you find out that Lucian he couldn't get to her because he'd helped her in the first trial.
Yeah, when he said to the left, and then it was Tamlin that had to whip him and give him the lashes. And then Amarantha put some magic on him so he didn't heal until really, really fast.
Right.
So that's why it took him so long.
She's a real piece of work. She really is. I mean, like, everything chapter to chapter at this point is just awful. It's just all terrible. It's awful. Like, so even then, she's feeling sick. She's been roofied. She's feeling the side effects of that, even though the roofie is Fey wine, not Iron Brew, so you're good, Linda. To say, Lucian tells Feyre that Rhysand made her dance most of the night with him. So
sit in his lap.
Yeah. And because Feyre's like, what? Okay. And so, then he tells her why he didn't visit, which we've established. And then basically from then, each night she's painted and dressed to go to the throne room at Rhysand's side. Every freaking night. And every day she has to sleep off the roofying effects, aka Fey wine. And then she's also thinking about this riddle, like, oh my God, for the love of God. But she can't
understand it or can't break it. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Amarantha then, at the end of this chapter, she orders Rhysand to enter the mind of the High Fae who tried to escape.
Yeah, they go to one of the parties and there's somebody there from the summer court and he's there. She said he tried to escape and we found him at the entrance, go into his mind. So we know Rhysand can go into his mind and break him. And he says, oh, no one else was involved. It was just him who was trying to escape.
Do we know who it was?
It was somebody who's working for the summer court. By the looks that are kind of insinuated in the chapter, it seems like it was a strategy by the High Lord of the Summer Court to get out or to free some of his people or something like that. And it went wrong. Right. And Rhysand decided not to tell Amarantha that so that none of them died. It was only this person that died, and he broke their mind and killed them so that he couldn't tell anybody else what had happened. And obviously the people in the Summer Court were relieved and welcome that Rhysand did that, but everybody else thought he was a dick because he just killed a fairy and thought he's Amarantha's whore. Yeah.
So Rhysand fingers curl into a fist and the fairy male eyes go wide, blaze, and then he slumps into a puddle of his own waste, basically. It's gross. He's dead. And then I said shatter his mind, not his brain, said Amarantha. And he's like, sorry, I got bored or whatever. And then that's when the crowds stayed far, far back as we walked through it. Whore, some of them softly hissed at him out of earshot. Amarantha's whore. Clearly there was some planning there, but he didn't. He killed them so that no one else could to read their mind, I think.
Yeah,
You know, that
because he could have been tortured.
Yeah, so that's why I think he made a decision of just making it look like he was a badass, and he was like, whoops, I killed him. But actually, I think it was strategic.
Maybe he's going to be nice, but I know he's going to be creepy again. I just know.
Yeah. That's the only thing. Rhysand, at least at this point, you get that Rhysand isn't just one way. There's clearly more layers here that we aren't privy to. So we're getting an introduction into Rhysand, who's, you know, not who we think he is. But also, she's still stuck here.
Yeah, but it's also, if you... Okay, let's just take the trials and everybody out of this. If you put them all on Tinder or whatever, none of them would come up good. Like, Tamlin, he has some romantic moments. He does want love, but he just, you know, he just doesn't know how to speak to women. There's a lot of red flags of things there. You're like, oh, he's so nice going on a date. Oh, but then he does say something inappropriate, or he won't say something and go, I have to go, bye. What? And then they've got this Rhysand person where you're like, oh, maybe he's nice. Maybe he's like down to earth. No, he's just really creepy. None of these Fae peeps are really...
Are you saying romantic. Out of everybody, Lucien is the best choice right now?
Oh, Lucien is definitely the best. I mean, he's missing an eye as well, and he still gives it correct. You are an idiot. Don't do that. It's
kind of like, at this point, there's no bullshit with Lucien. He's just like...
Give it to you straight.
Give it to you. He does. It gives it to you straight, whereas the other ones are like, either Tamlin tells you nothing and sort of is love bombing you, or Rhysand is just like being a kind of creepy, sneaky guy and getting what he wants out of it.
Yeah, I hate to think about what these other High Court lords are like. I'm sure we'll get round to it. What's wrong with them? What's their red flag? But yeah,
they're not great people. Let's just put it that way. But they're not. They're Fae.
He might be missing an eye, but you know, he gives it to you straight. Says, this is bad. Don't do this. Do that. I don't give a shit.
Also, he always tells Tamlin, what the F are you doing? Like, come on.
Yeah, maybe he does need a bit of a backbone. That's the only thing with Lucien. He needs a bit more of a backbone.
Lucien's too weak. That's what I will say.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get back to it. Sorry, I just had to pause to be like, none of them are faring well.
No, but we're now on chapter 40, so we've got 6 more chapters.
Yeah, so and the second task arrived.
That's right, my second task arrived. And this task is when Feyre stands before Amarantha and Tamlin in a cavern smaller than the throne room.
Yeah. Also, I wasn't sure about this task. Maybe you can help me with it, but it just seemed really easy. She's got 3 levers and she just has to pull one by reading something, like a little riddle or something. But Amarantha doesn't know she's illiterate. Amarantha doesn't know that. So why is the task so easy?
I was wondering if she did know that.
It doesn't say that she does. So
no, it does. It doesn't say that she does or she doesn't. But part of me thinks that she's figured it out somehow. Or Rhysand has gone into her mind, which he did back in the spring court, and he knows that. Possibly. That's
and he's now got
she would know
the
about
bond with the eye thing.
That's right, because at least when she goes to reach for one, it burns, as in, like, don't pick that one. So he's really peeved me off. Her.
No, this really...
I thought that was kind of cool, that she then figured out, oh, he's actually helping me with this hand, so I'll go for... No, not that one. Oh, that one. And then that's when she pulls the right lever.
So we forget to add that she has to pull the right lever, and there is there's thorns or spikes coming down towards
That's
her,
right. It's like the ceiling is like, it's this wall. The walls are closing in on her,
like
to make a decision. Otherwise, yeah, exactly.
And
that.
it's coming down and it's going to spike her. But also
it's going to impale her if she doesn't get the right answer.
They bring Lucien in, who's caged up, and said, "Oh, he's going to die too with you." And he's like, "No, for God's sake, why am I in this?" And then he realizes
like,
what she has to do.
you helped her in the last one. Here she is. I did feel bad for Lucien.
I still feel bad because
come on,
because he knows that she can't read, and he's like, "What does she have to do?" My God, and he can't read it. He can't see. So he's like, "We're doomed. We're fucked." This is it.
Like, I'm gonna die. Yeah. I'm gonna die.
And he makes it apparent. He's just like, just pull a lever. We're gonna die anyway. And what really peeved me off though, was she's like, "Oh, it's 1, 2, or 3. Me and Tamlin are 2. So it must be 2 because 1 is by myself and 3 is too many." And I was like, no,
that's not it.
And like you said, thank God Rhysand was there, who through this weird tattoo was like, give her electric shock or something to say, no, don't do that. It was the only way she survived that, because what was she going through?
I have to say, that must be a really scary thing to be like, here's a task, read this, and you're like, He bellowed what was before me. I turned, but when I saw his face, I knew he was too far to be able to read it aloud to me. He's like, just answer it. And she's like, I can't.
Yeah.
3 grass hop wee poo boon king sing. And she's like, oh, don't know. It just keeps going on and stuff, and then he's like, for the love of God, Feyre, please. And then what was it? Sorry, there's the thing where she's the pulsing heat didn't grow closer. And then a sigh, Lucien, I opened my eyes to find my tattooed fingers white knuckled beneath the ink. As they gripped the lever, the spikes hovered not inches from my head. So she was that close to making a decision. And then she's like, I'd won. And I gulped an even breath, and Lucien was offering up some kind of prayer, kissing the ground again and again. No shit, Lucien, because he was like, oh my God.
Lucien's been on his deathbed for, I don't know, this close to death for almost most of the book now. He's just like,
also, not only was the eye thing tattoo being the savior of that game, Rhysand just helped her. But also, he can say stuff into her head.
Yes, that was one of the things where she was stopped, everything stopped, and she said she heard a voice that said, don't let her cry. Put your hands at the side and stand up. Stand up and don't give her the satisfaction. She's like, okay, whatever. And he's speaking to her, saying, don't do this, do that, do that. And you're like, oh, he's helping her. But again, in a creepy way, controlling way. Right. This is an abusive relationship. Yes, it is.
I'm not saying it isn't, but think of the situation she's in. Yeah. Does she really have another choice here? She just got her ass saved by Rhysand. And she also was like, don't look at Tamlin, look at her, just stare her in, and then when you get back to cell, you can cry all the hell you bloody want. But
okay,
she was like,
for the time being. But if she survives this and goes off to do a week every month or something for her task with him, that's creepy as...
But it's I think it's the first point after this task where she just hits her lowest. She's like, I was going to die.
Yeah, she breaks. She breaks.
She completely breaks. Which is, I mean, she was going to break. And this was it. She just swept hours and hours and hours of just like, I can't believe it. Like, I can't save anybody. Yeah. I'm going to die here and everybody else is going to die. She's won. And that's it. I mean, I couldn't even read that. I would have died. And you're like, oh, poor girl.
So she goes back to the cell and she's just really upset and breaking.
Yeah, but then...
Yeah. Yeah, and it gets even creepier. It's like, you're in my mind now. And he's like...
Yeah.
He pulled his mouth, met with my cheek, and he licked away a tear. And you're like, what? Why?
Yeah, just like, when you think, he's giving her courage, he's like, I'll lick away the tears from your face. And you're like...
That stopped you from crying, didn't it? And you're like...
I mean, she was more just like, what the actual are you doing? Like, and this girl's breaking down here, and you think that's okay, but then people are like, yeah, but he was shocking her so that she would, like, come out of it.
There are other ways to shock her, like, than to lick her face.
To lick her
That's
face.
disgusting. And yes, yeah, right, that's disgusting.
But then, thankfully, he does her a solid and says, you won't be my escort tonight. And you're like, thank God. Thanks. Lick my face, but don't make me your escort tonight.
Yeah.
I'm living the life right now. Great. And then he taunts her about not being able to read and I won't tell anybody, don't worry. And she's just like, screw you. But also, thank you for saving me. At the same time, thanks for saving me, but screw you.
But the way she closes it down was that she says, oh, he had effectively kept me from shattering completely. And you're like, no, don't give that to him. Don't give that. He may have stopped you from, like, crying, but you did that. You stopped yourself from crying. Don't give that to him. No, he's creepy.
Facts.
Creepy.
Facts. That's a fact right there. Yeah. She doesn't, that's the other point, is she clearly doesn't have confidence in herself, that she's like, keeps giving it to other people, like, oh, well, he did stop me from, it's like, no. Girl. No, he didn't do that. The action might have initiated something, but you did it. And I think that's the biggest point of, like, she is, poor girl is struggling with her self-worth.
Yeah. This girl needs more girlfriends. She needs more girlfriends.
She needs more girlfriends. She needs more ladies. Yeah. There needs to be a gender balance here, for sure. For sure.
Maybe Lucian could just say, hey, one of my friends came, a girl who's just going to, fix up your nose and stuff.
Listen, Lucian's probably also breaking at this point. He's like, I almost died. And Tamlin sat there not doing anything as usual.
I know. That's another thing. Tamlin's just still sat there doing F all, trying to shut. And I'm like, no, he's not worth it, Freya. He is definitely not worth it if he's not going to say anything or even, even help his friend. No.
He's just like, bye.
Can she change her mind in this going, hi, I decided not to do the trials because I don't want the prize. Bye.
Well, the other thing as well is when we get to chapter 41, and it's like several days before the next final one is, and she's like, the darkness is settling in, like she's really going into a deep dark depression.
Oh yeah, she's just drinking wine to forget the next day. Like,
Rhysand gave me that goblet of fairy wine and I'd lose myself. Now she's roofing herself into depression.
Yeah,
this poor girl.
Exactly.
She's just like, for an illiterate, ignorant human, now she's hating on herself. So she's really in a bad place. She's like, I suck, I'm a piece of crap, I hate we've all been there. So yeah, she's going through it bad, and she's just weeping in this chapter pretty much.
Yeah.
Remember, but then she's like, I'm trying to remember I'm fighting for Tamlin. And I'm like,
it's not worth it, girl. He's not even bothering to acknowledge you or his friend. So she's getting ready in one of the rooms or something for one of them. And then something like wraith dressing ladies. That's another thing we didn't speak about. The girls that paint her and get her ready are basically ghosts.
They're like wraiths that just like sort of are around and they just help her. But they're like,
I'm just going to say ghosts. So they're ghosts. And they say, oh no, someone's coming in. Let's hide behind this curtain. And it's the Acotar and another soldier. And they say, I heard talk from the soldiers in Highburn that the High King is not pleased with the situation with the girl. Amarantha made a fool of him before, and he will not be so willing to forgive her. And so it looks like...
she's in the bad books with the King of Highburn.
But it sounds like the king is hoping to go to war again, and he's told Amarantha, don't let me down again this time. But now has Freya and all the trials, and he's not happy with that, because that's Amarantha and humans, she goes crazy, so he's not focusing on the task ahead.
That's right. And he's like, and you'd better hold your tongue or milady will do so for you, and her pincers are not kind. That's the Acotar's voice in my head.
Yeah.
I think he talks like this. So then, Yeah, so then that
Yeah.
finishes, and I think the wraiths are like, she asked Feyre, does Rhysand know about this conversation that they've clearly been earwigging on? And he's like, he will soon.
But it's the first time she's actually thought about her family and was like, oh, I hope Nesta got them out and freedom because there's going to be a war.
But I think it's the first time she manages to get out of a little bit of her depressive state, because she's going, oh yes, my family. I hope they get out, and I'm glad I've heard this piece of information because I wouldn't have known about that. So
she's thinking all this stuff in her cell, and then all of a sudden she hears some music in her cell. She said it was so strange. I was so used to strange fiddles and drums. I heard a lilting melody and thought I was hallucinating. And so she's been played this song. She doesn't know where it's come from. But it kind of gets her out of her depression and makes her think that there is kind of hope. So
yeah,
it does help her, and she's wondering, where did that come from? Upstairs? Or maybe another fairy's playing it or something?
Who do you think it was?
Well, I know who it is now because I finished the book, but at the time I just thought maybe it was somebody.
I thought it was Tamlin. I honestly thought it was Tamlin. I thought, oh, maybe he's actually finally doing something, you know?
Like, I actually just thought it was somebody in the next cell, and just thought, oh, maybe like, oh, someone's been captured in the next cell, but they're really nice.
Thanks, mate. Great. Thanks for that. In the next cell, you're great. Yeah. Now we're getting to closer and closer to the next task, but before that, we have chapter 42, and this is the first time Tamlin and Feyre actually have a moment at the party.
He's got a soul.
So she's at the party doing all that weird stuff, and then Rhysand taking longer than usual to summon me, but he's obviously does. And she then sort of sees Tamlin, and
they touch briefly hands while they're watching.
Graze against each other.
Yes. And then he kind of walks away with a meaning for her to follow him.
It's like, come hither, hither. And then they basically have a big freaking kiss in the dark room, and
I think it goes further than a kiss. You're just like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah. And they go kissy, heartbeats, you name it, and then they hear a voice and they push off the wall off each other. And who is it? But it's Rhysand.
Creepy as what? He's just been in there the whole time going, hey, I like to watch. Like, no. Oh, God. Like,
yeah, and he's like shameful.
Yes, shameful. You better get back to the party if you don't want me to tell so.
Yeah, how dare you? And then if Amarantha saw you, naughty, don't be doing that again. And then he makes the smudges on Feyre's body paint disappear from Tamlin's clothes so that
she doesn't know. Yeah, exactly. So he does that, and that you're like, oh, he's a good guy again. Creepy, but a nice guy. Sort of weirdly.
And then Tamlin does say, I love you. And then, whispers it, and then walks away. And Feyre's like, what's with you, Rhysand? Like, seriously.
You're a pig.
You're a pig. You ficker pig. And then he's like so angry that his wings come out. And then he forces a kiss on her, Feyre, as Amarantha and Tamlin walk in. And Rhysand's then covered in Feyre's paint, and he drags her back into the throne room. And Amarantha's like, what are you doing? And he's just like, yeah, I'm just being weird and crazy. I'm just Rhysand, the messed up dude. I'm just being like, that's basically what Rhysand's like in front of Amarantha. He's like, yeah, I'm just being like that creepy weird guy. Just fuck anything. I'm just with everyone. I just have sex all the time, and I don't even care who or what's happening. And you're like, damn,
is it an act? Is it not? What's going on?
It's clearly an act at this point. Because, like, what? I mean, it might be partially true, but he's clearly putting it on even more than he normally does. Yeah, so.
Yeah, so he does save her. So Amarantha thinks that it was him going into the room, not Tamlin. and stops the whole her knowing that there was anything going on between them, which helps. But then he tries to have a moment with Freya when she's in her cell going, I'm just a person. Like the shield comes down and the wall comes down and he's like, this is who I am. That bitch is running me ragged. Yeah.
Because he comes into her cell looking like, okay, he's on his last spoon that day. It's getting to him. And he just kind of, because doesn't he like lean against the wall and kind of just go slumps? And he's like, I just want peace. I just want quiet. And like you said, she's running me ragged. And, Amarantha will rule forever. Blah,
Yeah,
blah.
and he's really worried because I think her trial's the next day and he's like, one more wrong move tomorrow and we're all doomed. And her biggest weapon is that she keeps our power contained and she can't access their power, but she contains it, but she can control us through them. And it's why I've never been able to shatter her mind.
Yeah, because she's basically muted their powers, so she's the only one that can. Oh, it's a shame. And then it's like he tells Feyre that Amarantha targeted Tamlin because his father. Targeted him, Rhysand, because his father killed Tamlin's dad and his bros, and she wanted to punish him for his father's misdeeds. So.
I drug you, but don't you wonder why I never touch you beyond your waist or your arms? And she's like, oh, right, maybe he is a good guy.
Yeah,
because,
totally.
She doesn't, oh, maybe he is a good guy. Like, okay, he doesn't, do anything inappropriate to you, but he still does.
He just touches you, but not touches you in the genitals. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, just a bit like, what? It still inappropriately touches you and drugs you. Does it make it better?
Yeah, he's like, I've told you too much. Gets on his feet and goes, perhaps I should have drugged you first. If you were clever, you'd find a way to use this against me. So he's also like saying that.
And that's why he paints her every night so that Tamlin will see that he's not touched her. And that it's not her fault. But it's still a really creepy and unnecessary way to do this, Rhysand.
We'll go back to the paint. It's the paint again, the paint and its significance. But the other thing is funny when she goes, when you healed my arm, you didn't need to bargain with me. You could have demanded every single day of the week. And then his brows knit together. And it is like every single week. And I would have said yes. And he's like, I know.
I know. Like a cocky one. And I just like, oh, God.
Seriously, Rhysand. Seriously, guys, you know what the problem is? No one is thinking straight. They all just need to get to the third trial and calm down. All right?
Yeah. I think she's kind of thinking straight now. She's just like, what is this? What you gonna do? What's happened? I don't give a crap anymore. Like, you're all messed up in some way.
Oh my God. And she's like, okay, I see that you've tried to help. It's like, she's very much a person that's like, yeah, okay, I can see how you've helped me there. And I'm like, you are very good, but also you need to stop giving people like all this shit,
Yeah, stop giving people to say, oh, they're so good that they helped me. No, you helped yourself.
That was really kind of them. It was
inappropriate.
It was great that I got a glass of water from that person.
No, you were a prisoner.
Because you were in their house and you said, that's just common decency. Anyway, we move on to chapter 43 now. This is the third and finale challenge. And Feyre is dressed in her old pants and tunic again. She's in her...
Oh, thank God someone give her some more clothes.
Poor
She's
girl.
not in...
Poor girl. She's not got her ass hanging out. Yeah, she's good. She's covered now.
I mean, I think everybody's seen everything at that party, but hey.
Fae, kinky people. They kinky.
Yeah. So her last trial is she gets 3, which is really inappropriate. She gets 3 fairies in front of her who are hooded, blindfolded,
Mm-hmm.
and she has to stab them with the ashwood, which is what fairies are allergic to. I'm just going to say out there. And they will die.
Yeah, it's like lethal. It's not allergic.
Yeah.
They die. Like, you
I
know, they're
don't
like,
know.
oh,
They're just
I'm allergic. No, death, Linda, death.
fine. They dead. They dead. They get it, and they're just okay. You're dead now. That'll kill you.
This
And
is
then,
it.
so she feels horrible because she has to kill. It's like you kill these 3 people to free Tamlin and the
The rest
thousands
of the
that
High
are
Lords.
the rest of the country. Do you do that, or can you kill 3 innocent people? Yeah, they're innocent as well.
Yeah.
To save the masses. So she does it, really. So the first one was a guy who's pleading with her, going, please do it, please, like, save me, please. Don't do this to me. Which is really hard, and she does it. And then the second one is
like,
a girl.
You can tell it's like the way this sort of story, the way it's played out on the page is actually really quite heart-wrenching. Because she's just like, no, I don't want to do this. This is so horrible. I have to commit murdering these people. And I have to, because she knows as soon as she does that, she's lost a piece of her soul. She is no longer Feyre anymore. She's gone.
She'll have PTSD for the rest of her life.
Shit, yeah, she will. Yeah.
She's going to have that. And he keeps pleading with her, and then she just has to stab him. Yeah, and everyone's
she
crying.
Like stares in their eyes as well. So insane.
Yeah.
She like sees the life leave them. That's gonna stay with her. And then she goes to the second one, and it's I think it's a girl, and she has to do the same thing.
But the girl kind of knows what's happening, and it's very apparent. Yeah, she just says, right, okay, I know I have to die, so I just do it.
Do it quick.
And she does a prayer. Yeah, does a prayer under her like voice, and then she just kills her. I think she had more respect just to get it over and done with.
I know, and it's so insane because Amarantha's like, not so fast. And then who held the first kneeling snatch? It's like, it's a handsome young Fae. I didn't know him. I'd never seen him, but his blue eyes were pleading. That's better, Amarantha said, waving her hand. Proceed, Feyre, dear. Enjoy it. And you're just like, wow, Amarantha, you need to be put in a box, girl, and die. And then obviously he says, please, 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 don't do it. And she does it. And the second one she kills as well, but she's, like you said, more accepting.
Yeah. But then the third fairy, she's just got one more to stab in the heart, and they pull up the hood, and it's Tam Tam.
Yeah, and then it's like Rhysand's face has gone pale, so pale. And she's like, no, that's not fair. And then she's like, fair? We're playing around with Durian's bone on her necklace. Oh, she has Durian's bone on her necklace as well.
Oh, yeah, his pinky bone or something.
That's right. Not only does she have the eyeball on a ring, she has his bone. And she's like, I wasn't aware you humans knew concept. You killed Tamlin, and he's free. Her smile was the most hideous thing I'd ever seen. And then you can have him all to yourself. Unless you can't do it, of course, blah, blah, blah.
She did enter this competition, like, priority 1 was to save Tamlin. That's her first priority, was to save Tamlin. Second was to lift the curse and free everybody. So she's basically going against her priority 1 there.
But that's because we now know why, because she thinks Feyre is unaware of the heart of
Yes, and I was unaware of this too. I didn't.
No, me neither. At this point in the story, I was like, oh my god, she's gonna have to kill Tamlin. This is so awful. This is horrible. Tamlin's gonna die. And then, meh. Tam, bye-bye.
I think there are better people out there for you, Freya. I think you just gotta get away from these fairy peeps.
There's so many people listening to this right now. There's so many people that are like, damn straight, screw Tamlin, booyah.
I think
nobody likes Tamlin.
To go back to the human village and realize she just doesn't fit in with that kinky stuff.
But yeah, so she's like, oh, holy crap, I have to kill Tamlin or myself. This sucks. Right. So, but she flashes back to Alice, as we called her, what, Treebeard of the Lord of the Rings?
Treebeard! One of the tree wives.
Because she's kind of a wooden, she's like a bark tree type fae, and she gave her advice before going in, and she was trying to recall some part of the curse or whatever. Was it she encountered the Acotar in the garden, and the open door when Tamlin and Lucy are discussing the curse? She had overheard something which actually helped her make the decision. She knows Amarantha desires Tamlin. So she's like, why would Amarantha put him in this situation to just have me kill him? That doesn't seem right. Which is smart for Feyre. Like, and points there for her to have this cycle of conversation to herself while she's about to kill him.
A part they couldn't tell me. A part that would aid me.
That's right.
I was supposed to listen.
And then it says, she remembers Lucy in the dining room telling Tamlin he had a heart of stone. And literally, he did have a heart of stone.
And like you said, Amarantha would never kill what she desired the most. So there was a trick there. So, and she had Lucy and Tamlin in the dining room, like you said.
That's right, because she never felt his heartbeat, remember?
Yeah, he said, for someone with a heart of stone, yours is certainly soft these days. And then, she'd never heard his heartbeat. And then Acotar had said, though you have a heart of stone, Tamlin, you certainly keep a host of fear inside it. So she finally realizes, she realizes that he doesn't have a heart of like a fairy heart. He has a heart of stone, or it's been cursed or something. But she doesn't know 100%, so she is taking a chance here, hoping for the best.
What does she do? She plunges the ash dagger right into
love you, and then she's like,
screw you, ma tam tam, stab. And then no, she does say I love you, and then I did love that. I love you, I said, and stabbed him. End of chapter. And you're like, what?
Then it all kicks off.
Tamlin cried out as my blade pierced his flesh, breaking bone. For a sickening moment, when his blood rushed onto my hands, I thought the ash dagger would go clean through him. But then there was a faint thud.
That's a really strong. Like, I don't think I have the strength to plunge and break bone. But
yeah. But I guess because she'd done it with the first two, she had practice. I don't know.
Yeah, she's had practice. She's had
practice with the previous two that she's just murdered. And then Tamlin lurched forward. He'd gone pale, yanked out the dagger from his chest, and as the blood drained away from the polished wood, he lifted the blade, and its tip had been nicked, turned inward on itself, because his heart's made of stone.
That's it. She's won. 3 of them, and
Feyre's won. We should all be happy. This should be it. This should be all great. But
Amarantha, she says, I'll free them whenever I see fit. Freya didn't specify when I had to free them, just that I had to at some point. Perhaps when you're dead.
And I thought, like, oh my God. Girl does not know. See, when you're making rules with a genie or a demon, you gotta lay the facts out. You gotta lay them accurately. But obviously, Rhysand smiles because he's like, oh, clever girl. She's figured that one out. That's very clear. I didn't know he had a heart of stone. Well done.
Yes. But Amarantha goes, she's like, that's it. I'm gonna kill you. I'm now, like, I don't have to. And when you're dead, I'm now going to kill you.
At that point in the book, were you not just reading it going, oh, thank God, she's done it. I can take a breath. And then Amarantha's like, you failed to specify when or where. And I was like, I was like, exhale, drop the book. Like, come on, just die already, bitch.
But she takes like she really does hate humans, so she just takes offense. And all of a sudden, there's like a violent as lightning struck me, and she's like, "Now you're gonna pay. I'm gonna kill you." And her bones are shattering, and slammed onto the hard floor. And Amarantha's just like, "Right, I'm gonna make you suffer now. That's it. Can't believe you've won. I'm angry."
Yeah, and she's just like, she just attacks her, slams her to the floor, breaks all her bones, and she says she'll stop if Feyre will deny her love for Tamlin, which obviously she's like, I'm not going to deny it. And Rhysand then goes,
Rhysand is the only one.
He's the only one that's like, you know what? I've had about enough of this shit. And he lunges for her with an ashwood. Sadly, doesn't quite get that ashwood dagger in because she repels it and batters him. Like with
she really cracks him again. He gets his head cracked against the stone, and the knife drops from his fingers. And then,
to his credit, he was like, "Sod this! I'm not doing this anymore." And he tried to go for her because she was supposed to let everyone free, and she didn't. So no wonder he was like pissed off. And then,
but she's getting like battered again. We didn't know what power Amarantha had, but she's really going for her. She's
like basically Darth Sidious from Star Wars. I'm sorry. You know, the guy that shoots electric pulses from his fingertips. Yes, you do, Linda. You know what I'm talking about. Everybody knows that there's an old guy with lasers, like lightning coming out of his fingernails.
Lasers.
No, lightning coming out his hands. Not lasers.
Well, so her foot is connected with my broken ribs.
She is killing Feyre at this point. She's brutally bashing. She's beating her to pulp, smacking her down, and Tamlin's begging Amarantha to stop.
Where's Lucien? Why is nobody else at the High Lords going, right, come on, like, let's just go for it? Everyone's just...
all pussies. They're all just chicken. They're all chicken. They're just in the background going, we're not dealing with this. And she's there writing in pain, but then that's when she remembers the riddle.
Oh yeah, because Amarantha's there shrieking, say that you don't love him. Oh, that she said I wasn't going to say it, and then Tamlin's saying stop this, but because she says say you don't love him, that's I think clicks in her head, doesn't it?
And then she's like, the answer to the riddle is love. And then she sees Tamlin's eyes widen as her spine cracks, the poor girl. And that's it. She's dead. She is. And you're like, what? And it's just insane because Feyre has gone through all this. And she's like, say it, you vile beast. Say you don't love him. And then she's like, love. That the answer to the riddle is love. Tamlin's eyes went wide and her spine was cracked. And then that was her dead. But it's interesting that now she's dead, you kind of have to, you then get her POV. She's like, I'm now seeing through someone else's eyes. I'm now basically coming out of my body, and her broken body is stretched. So she can see it. So she's like, she's a ghost looking down on her own body.
Yeah, she can see that. And Tamlin turns into his beast form and just goes for Amarantha against the wall.
Which is
and
awesome. Because Lucien removes his mask for the first time, and you're like, oh, the curse is broken, and Tamlin gets all these powers back, and and you can see her, because doesn't she say, like, wait a minute, hold on a second, and she says she only whispers please before golden light explodes, and you're like,
and he just takes her throat, and he
mauls her to death. It was like Tam completely eviscerates Amarantha, which was like, bit too late, girl. She dead now. Thanks a lot. And then the Acotar and the guards tried to help their queen, but obviously, Fairy's High Lord.
Lucien throws him a sword, and he gets the sword and puts it through her head into the stone bench beneath. And then just leaves her there next to where Claire's strung up. And he goes back to her, and he's realised all the High Lords are there, and they realise that she's dead. Freya's dead.
But then she's not actually a ghost. She's looking through Rhysand's eyes.
Yeah, from the weird eye thing on his
eyeball thing.
Yeah, that's
interesting. No, it's like Tamlin, he sheds his beast form after he's dealt with that. And then he sobs and he's holding Feyre in his arm and he's looking at like all the Fey High Lords around him. And Lucien's father is at the Lord of the Autumn Court, and then he's the one that basically says like they drop like a glittery spark onto her chest. Yeah, it's like some kind of magic. And then the next summer court does it, and the winter court does it, and all these High Lords start coming up putting this like sparkly thing onto her chest. So I'm guessing it's like Fey essence of life or something from High Lords.
Something but it's her soul. So Rhysand has a shred of her soul with him. So that's how he's able to she's able to see through him, and he steps forward and gives her a drop of whatever it is, fairy juice. Just
fairy juice. High Lord fairy juice
bring her
coming
back,
in.
to bring her back to life. Yeah. And then it kind of goes, everything was black, and I was lying on the corn floor, no pain, no blood, no broken bones. I truly wasn't dead. But then we find out that she'd become a Fey.
She'd become a Fey?
A working class Fey, not middle Fey. Half Fey.
Half Fey. Only one kind of Fey in this town. Half Fey. And then he tells her he loves her. And then she starts, chapter 46 comes into play. And Feyre feels like she's swimming from the surface. And then she gasps and she's like, I'm not dead.
She has a Twilight moment.
Oh yeah, she has. Yeah, the eyeballs open very fast, and she's like, "I'm now a new person. I'm not a vampire. I'm a High Fae." And she has become a High Fae. And Tamlin says this was the only way to save her. And Amarantha's dead because
I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure it was not the
Tamlin,
only way to save you.
You just didn't bring enough.
Something else you're saying.
Yeah, you could have brought more to the party, and you didn't. Anyway, so that happens. She becomes the High Fae. And the people are now free, away from Amarantha's dead. The curse has been lifted. The masks have come off. So now she's seeing Tamlin without his mask on for the first time.
Yes. And she says, oh, now I'll be able to see what his eyes and his nose are supposed to look like. But Amarantha's dead. We were free. They were free. Tamlin was. And then she goes, I killed those two Fae. And you're like, yep. The PTSD.
Here comes the PTSD. Yeah, here comes the trauma.
You're alive. They are not. Right.
Yeah. She's probably like, maybe I should have just died. That would have been better.
Oh, and Tamlin's got his heart back now. He's not got a stone heart anymore. Ooh.
That's right. And then they're all talking, but then before they all start leaving, Rhysand and her have a little catch up.
Oh no, before that I've written PTSD. Because it goes on for a couple of pages, goes the PTSD.
It does.
She goes, I needed this right now. I wouldn't wash away what I'd done. I needed him near, needed to smell and taste Tamlin, remind him that he was real, that this was real. So yeah, it's like she's gone a bit crazy, and it goes on for like 2 pages that she's, I don't know, she's just gone in herself a bit more. She's turned into this High Fae. She's alive now, and now
she is massively disturbed. Hugely disturbed.
And now she's seeming really feeble and needs Tamlin, and she just wants to go away and feels awful all the time.
Oh yeah, she is basically, she's regressing, massively regressing. She just wants to curl up. You know those times when you're like, if you've ever suffered from really bad, either depression or sadness in your life, and all you want to do is curl up into a giant ball and throw like a mattress or like over the top of your head, like not even your duvet, the whole bloody mattress, because it's just all too much. It's like, that's her point. This is where she is now, which is fair considering the amount of crap she just endured that entire time. Like broken arm, trials, death, murdering people, illiterate, being told she's illiterate, and she's like,
creepiness.
Ruffie
dancing, being drugged.
Yeah, that's it. And now she's not even human anymore. She's now another
she's
species.
had that life taken away. She's had to kill 2 people. Who is she anymore? And
she's like, I'm taller, my ears are thing, my hands and my legs are thingy. Like, she's bigger because she's a High Fae now. So, her whole body is different. And now she's got this thing on her arm still from Rhysand. who's like, there, but he's
yeah, he pays her a visit before he go, after he's about to go and she's still there.
Everyone's leaving under the mountain.
Yeah.
They're all leaving and being like, yeah, we're finally free. And Rhysand wants to be remembered for fighting against Amarantha. He also tells her that he didn't want to fight or die alone, and then he's like, how does it feel to be a high fae? Does your body respond differently than your human heart?
We didn't want to die alone. I remember that. We didn't want to die alone, which is what she never said, didn't she, when that blue fairy was on the table in Springcourt? He said, nobody should die alone. And it's something that he said as well.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Good point there. Very good identification there.
And don't you get a week every month? And he's like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. See you soon.
Yeah, it's like he's not that fussed over it after that point. He's like, yeah, sure. When you're ready, it's okay. I thought this was contractual. And then he leaves something about Feyre's face shocks him, but before she can ask him, he disappears.
Yeah, he stumbles, what is, and then he disappears. But before he does that, he said, be glad of your human heart, Feyre. Pity those who don't feel anything at all.
It's just such a good point in the book.
What?
It's just, I'm not saying anything. It's just so good. So good.
Well, yeah, because he stumbles, so he's seen something. This is it. Yeah, I assumed that he'd just seen, I don't know, maybe the High King somewhere. He's like, oh no, he's still coming. And he's just bye. And I was like, oh, you done a Tamlin. Great, whatever, Rhysand. I'm not
what I will
this.
say, no, listen, what I will say is they're clearly two very different fae, but also they've gone through this insanity with Amarantha that I feel we don't really know that much about Rhysand at this point. We know a lot about Tamlin.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't talk about any of it.
No, but Rhysand's just done a calamari. Remember when calamari happened and she's like, where you going? I'm going. Bye. Can't tell you what. Bye. Rhysand's like, hi. What is it? Can't tell you. Ghost.
That's what
just
he likes to do.
You just done a calamari.
He's a ghoster. Yeah. He's a ghoster. He's like, yeah, what up? All right, I'll see you back.
Right. Okay,
oh yeah,
sure.
And then after they've had that conversation, we found Alice chases her boys, now safe. So we know Alice has got her boys back.
Oh, yes,
Alice
is
safe. Treebeard Alice.
Treebeard's been okay. And then her and Tam are like, let's go home. And yeah, everything's back to
it's
normal.
A happy ending.
But she's got PTSD.
Oh yeah. The amount of shit that's gonna come from that. It's like, thanks for proving to me that true love exists. I'm the luckiest woman in the world to get to spend my life with you. I actually was like, hold on a minute. He should be saying that to you. He should be saying, I am the luckiest man in the world to be able to spend my life with you. Yeah, not the other way around. Again, her self-worth is no. It's bad. She had more balls, more cojones when she was shooting a wolf in the forest at the beginning of the book. And now the Fae have completely
broken her.
They've broken her.
They've broken her
up.
She is gone to the cellar to get bottles of that fairy wine to get her through now the next couple of years. And it's basically, happy ending, but there's not going to be so much happiness.
But I don't think it's that happy, you see, because part of me is like, oh no, I hope she gets her shit together. I hope she heals. But it's a lot. It's a lot of going on.
Yeah, and she's got to see that creepy dude 1 week a month.
Rhysand.
Yeah.
So that is us finished. Court of Thorn and Roses.
I have finished it.
Sarah J. Maas. Now, how many goblins would you give this book? And has it made it successfully through the labyrinth, or has it maybe got stuck somewhere? Is it with the cleaners, perhaps? I don't know. Like, where has it ended up?
So I think I'm not going to give it 5 goblins out of 5.
I think that's fair. Because 5 to me is exceptional.
Yeah, because I just felt like the last 100 pages, yeah, they're gold dust. Sorry, 100 pages are gold dust. But before that, it is like stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. You're like, what is going on? Like, I don't know if this story is coming or going. I just want to hurry up and see what's happening. And I know it has to do a lot with story building and everything, but it just was really slow going and just frustrating. So I think I'm going to give it, I don't know if this is bad, like 3.5. Is that really bad?
That's what I would give it. That's my rating too. 3.5 goblins is 3.5, or maybe even 3.25.
That's very specific. I was just gonna go 3.5, but
3.25. 3.25.
I think this is a good. I'm glad I got to read this, like, because I don't have a lot of experience in romantasy, and I thought it was really good, and it built the world really nice, and Feyre was a good character, even though some of the guy characters were pretty creepy. But it had such a good story. I really enjoyed the trials. I really enjoyed Lucian as a best friend character and everything. And there's a lot of twists that I didn't get. So yeah, I think it was good. It's just, I know there's another, has it 4 other books, or I don't 5 other books, but I
5,
hope
I think.
maybe they were a bit better because you don't have that much story building then. And hopefully they just get to the point a bit more.
I think so, yeah. It's like story building, but it's also character development, right? You have to know, like, where did Feyre go? Where did she come from? Where's she going? Where has she been? What has she endured? This book was trying to say, instead of telling us that she has trauma, it was like, here's the trauma. Here is it.
Yeah, here is the trauma.
Experience the trauma. And now that you know that, book 2 will be beyond the trauma. It'll be like, how do we move from the trauma into the next part of her life?
Fairy wine. That's how we get through.
Fairy wine, roofie wine every day.
Fairy wine is how we get through the trauma unhealthily.
So, where has it made it through the labyrinth?
I think it has made it so far, maybe 3/4 of the way through the labyrinth until it got eaten by the worm. It got eaten by the worm in the labyrinth.
The worm, yeah. I'm at the point where if you know the movie, The Labyrinth, David Bowie, totally recommend it if you haven't seen it. But I would say at the point where the birds are taking off their heads, that's where it got to me.
How come your head don't come off?
Why her head don't come off? So then we're going, if you got off Friday. That's where it got for me. But anyway, no, I would agree with you in terms of the rating and where it got to in the labyrinth. I don't think it successfully completed the labyrinth, but I definitely think it got very close to getting to the end.
I think it got close.
And I say 3.5 goblins is a fair assessment because, like you say, it is very stop-start. She is constantly going, I want to go home. I want to go home. Okay, I'm here. I love you. And you're like, do you really love him? And then the whole Amarantha thing. It's like it ramps up right towards the end, but there's probably Act 1 and Act 2 of the book are very much just exposition of this is where we're going. This is what we're doing, which is all great stuff. But that's why it's not going to have a higher score, and that's I think fair. So I'm on the same page as you. But has this put you off romantasy, or has it encouraged you to read more?
No, I think so. I mean, I read a lot of romance books, and I just don't think the relationship between, I know you're going to come for me, but I just feel like the comfort, like Tamlin and her, like, I don't know. I just don't feel like the relationship is there, like the romantic relationship is there. Maybe because it's so creepy or something, and maybe that's to come, and he'll drop his walls and he'll feel better. But I think there's more, like the relationship isn't as deep. I just thought it was a bit like, oh yeah, no, we had a summer and it was great and I love him. It's not like this relationship will get me through the test of time. It's not that deep yet. So maybe that's what the rest of the books go to.
You know what it kind of slightly reminded me of? Not in terms of story or who they are, but in terms of the same emotional effect that you get is like when you read Twilight for the first time and Bella is in love with Edward, and Edward's like this guy that's not really it's like, okay, I know it's like teenagers to non-teenage, kind of more adult in this book, but it was the same feeling that I got. I wanted Tamlin because I wanted him to be better. So I'm like, no, maybe he's just working it out. We just got to give him more time. And so that's because she'd written it so from the POV of Feyre, you were very much kind of going along with, yeah, I get what she's saying. I get what she's trying to do. Like, maybe we should be a bit more considerate. He did kind of help in this way. And so you really want Tamlin to be the good guy and the love interest. But if you look at it from now that I've reread it again, you're like, he's just not, though. He's just not good enough. He's just not doing enough for her and for him. He thinks he's like the shit, and he's just not.
He needs to be more emotionally available.
He is not emotionally available. Exactly.
But maybe that will happen in number 2. Maybe he'll be like, oh, now I don't have these walls up, and they'll come down, and he'll be there for her through her PTSD. Maybe I don't know where it's going. What's the picture of the next one?
Okay, well, on the subject of that, I will show you. The next one is called A Court of Mist and Fury, and it is in fact a bird, if you can see this on the camera. I'm sorry, it's a bit defocused. Sorry about that.
Is it like a crow? Like, as in, like harbinger of death? You see a crow and that means death.
So it very much looks like less of a crow and more of, because it's got those kind of claws. So more like an
kind of bird that is. A hawk?
It's like more like a hawk.
I don't know.
I would say it looks more like a hawk. So yes, A Court of Mist and Fury.
Well, that's very ominous. Like ominous. Like obviously someone's going to die, or someone's going to have to.
A Court of Thorns and Roses to Mist and Fury.
Because of the death thing. Maybe she's a ghost. Maybe this is
She's a high fae. She's a high fae.
High fae / human ghost. She can go between the worlds. Because, a crow is harbinger of death. Right, we're going to a wraith world now.
No, we're going to stop talking about it.
No.
So we've at least finished the Court of Thorn and Roses. So our next book is going to be A Court of Mist and Fury, which is the second one of the series. So I have heard that this one is exceptional, much better than the one that we've just read. So I'm expecting it to ramp up. It is obviously a lot bigger, as you can see in the camera. This is it's a chunky book. 624 pages. Can you do it, Linda? Will you be able to do it? I know, because you're like, this took me ages to read.
Yeah, look, it took me a long time to go through this. I mean,
that was 418 pages was A Court of Thorn and Roses. Now you got to up it to 624 pages.
Okay, well, I shall try.
You can do it. There might be a few more episodes, because I don't know if we can put everything into 4 episodes as we have done this one. So there might be 5 episodes instead.
Yeah, maybe 5 episodes. So that makes it a bit easier.
Just so we can get those extra few pages in. But yes, thank you so much for joining us on our Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. This is our final episode on the book, and I would think that it was quite a success, although a very harrowing end there.
Yeah, that's it. A happy ending, but really not happy. So it'd be good to hear your thoughts and what you thought. If you've read the book and what you thought, or if you thought something completely different to what I did, let me know.
Yeah, and please, if you aren't already following us, we are on Instagram and TikTok at Literary Labyrinth Podcast. And we are also available on YouTube, where you might be watching us right now, and Spotify to watch and to listen to. So please subscribe to those channels, follow us, and leave us some comments. And we look forward to seeing you for our next episode, which will be next Tuesday on our fan fiction that we have selected.
Yes, fan fiction.
We will let you know closer to the time what the fan fiction is that Linda is reading. I am, of course, reading it alongside her, but we will get into it on our next episode next Tuesday. And then following that, we'll be back into our steady rhythm of taking this book, A Court of Mist and Fury, and taking it chapters at a section at a time per episode as we discuss and learn more about where the hell is Feyre going now that she's a high fae.
/ ghost. We're going to the spirit world. So
and there's not.
Join us as we go through the spirit world and fairy world.
So please read along with us or reread along with us if you are on Fable. You can find our book club. Our links to all of our socials plus our Fable account are all on our bios on Instagram and TikTok. Big breakdown on there, and you can click away and find us there easily. So yeah, but actually I do have one thing, because we did ask last time for some fan art images of what the creatures look like. So I think we should ask this time around for some fan art of what the hell Feyre's dress paint thing looks like. What does that look like?
What the trials look like.
The worm?
I want to see people, the worm, and I want to see
the lever.
Pictures of Lucian looking frantic as the specks are coming down.
Yes.
How does that look?
Yes, I do want to see that, actually, yeah. And then, yeah, maybe not so much the stabbing at the end, but those two would be good.
Yes. So, yeah, I'd like to see some fan art about that. Thank you guys so much for joining us. As Leela said, we'll be back next week for our fan fiction episode, and then we'll go straight on to a court of Mist and Fury. Tune in soon with us next week, and yeah, as Leela said, follow us all on our socials, and I guess that's us. See you guys later, and I better get reading because it's 600 pages. See you later.
Bye.